welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for some Barça news coming your way because we are going to be discussing the future of Gerard Piqué. Lots of speculation in the Spanish media right now. We're going to be talking all about that and also our current centre-back options. We're also going to be talking about the future of Frenkie de Jong, the latest on the rumours linking him with a move to United, along with the contract situations of Ousmane Dembélé and also there of Gavi. Two very different situations, and it's all going to be discussed right here. So let's do it. Because if we do indeed begin with the big story of sort of the past few days really in the Spanish media, and it all does come down to Gerard Piqué and his future at the club. And I do especially want to talk about this today because when you look at the front pages in the Catalan media this morning, MD and Sport, both of them really targeting Piqué. Very, very big headlines indeed. MD there say that in the words of Xavi, he's told Piqué, you won't be a starter. And on the cover of Sport, they go with the same sort of theme, but say that Xavi doesn't count on Gerard Piqué for the coming season and indeed the future at Barça. And I do think here, when you've got the two, Catalan sports daily papers going with the same sort of headline, the same sort of theme, there is always some significance to that, and we should definitely pay attention to what is being said here, because they do go on to say that Gerard Piqué, as we know, we've known for a long time now, he's got a lot going on outside of football. He's got so many different business ventures, so many different things that he is involved in, and that's all great, for him. And of course, his own personal life has been very much in the headlines over these past few weeks. That's been very widely publicised. So Piqué has a lot on his plate right now. We're all aware of that. And I think Xavi is ultimately reaching the stage whereby, much like we've spoken about with Busquets recently, when now do you start thinking about replacing Piqué? Because he is 35 years old, he has been here for many good years, as we said with Busquets, so much fantastic service that he's given us. Nothing will take that away from him, but when you're talking about a new Barça, building a new team, a new dynamic within the club, Xavi knows that that has to come at some point without Piqué. And when is that going to come? But I think it is always a very tricky sort of situation because it doesn't only depend here on basically Xavi saying, right, you're out, we are ready to start a new chapter, we're going to get rid of the old faces and start something new. Because at the same time, when you get rid of somebody, when you move on from somebody, especially when it's somebody as significant as Piqué, as significant as Busquets, what you also need is somebody to come into their place. Now, if you look at the past season, for instance, when many people were saying, look, we need to get rid of Piqué now, Xavi needs to come in, drop him immediately, and we can move on. The problem was, though, as we saw at the end of the season there, our centre-back options, yes, you've got Araujo, but then who else was there? Are you really going to depend then on Eric Garcia, Longley, Samuel Umtiti? Was that really going to be the best time to say, okay, Piqué, you're gone, you're out? Because quite clearly at the end of the season, we did suffer without him. So that has always been the case at Barca. Yes, we may need to move on. Yes, we may indeed need to take a big step into a newer, fresher, younger Barca, but you still need somebody to replace these guys. Which is now when we come on to this summer and our plans at centre-back now, because obviously we're going to add Andreas Christensen this summer. He's going to come in there and be part of our centre-back plans, but is that enough? Now we've got Christensen in, do we still have enough there now to say, okay, Piqué, we don't need you anymore. We're not really going to rely on you because we are well covered. We're really confident in our options, and that is going to be enough there to get us through all the competitions over the season to come. Personally, I still don't think so. We would still be lacking, I think, one top centre-back. You've got Araujo, you've got good cover there, I feel, in Christensen, in Eric Garcia, plenty of depth at centre-back, but I just think there, if you sign one more top quality centre-back, then you could say, okay, I'm confident. I believe now in what we've got at centre-back. And of course, there's rumours to Kalidou Koulibaly. I do believe that he is a top centre-back. He's proven that now over many years indeed at Napoli. Of course, he's not the youngest option. He would be coming in at 30 years old. Somebody there who's probably in his prime years now. And of course, he also has just 1 year left on his current deal. But Napoli, as of right now this summer, they're still standing very firm. Their valuation of the player is between 35 to 40 million euros, which is a lot of money there for Koulibaly. And of course, there's Jules Kounde. Now, this man right here, this would be Xavi's dream centre-back signing. And I think if there was a way, if somehow we could sign Kounde, that would be Xavi's rock-solid duo there of Kounde and Araujo at centre-back. That would be his absolute dream. Now, right now, Sevilla, they are going to demand top money for Kounde this summer, but it is not believed to be the 80 million that maybe was expected a few months ago, but more now around the 60 million euro mark. And the question that I would ask there is, if Frenkie de Jong wants to be sold this summer, and this is another one of those big questions. We've all heard the links to Bernardo Silva, the luxury midfield signing who could come in for the same sort of money that we get for De Jong, or do you take another route? If De Jong was to be sold, do you spend it in another area? Do you spend it there on a top quality centre-back? Maybe Kounde? Maybe you've got somebody else in mind? Because I do still think we need one more top quality player in that area. And well, speaking indeed about the future of Frenkie de Jong, that is where we go next, because of course this is a question that continues to linger over us this summer. Is Frenkie going to stay, or is Frenkie going to be leaving? And the big news today, I feel, multiple sources there within the English media and widespread reports say that Man United have told Barça that they are not willing to pay a large transfer fee this summer for Frenkie de Jong. And that is huge news for me, and very much unbelievable in many ways. Because we all know their first offer, for me, it was actually quite insulting. 60 million euros plus 10. The fact that they ever believed that would be anywhere near enough for de Jong is honestly quite laughable. And I would actually look at it in the Premier League right now. You've got Man City, who've brought in Erling Haaland. Now, City already won the league, and yet they've still added more to their squad. You've got Liverpool, who are bringing in Darwin Núñez in a deal there that could reach 100 million euros. These squads were already brilliant, by the way, but City and Liverpool continue to strengthen. And then you've got United, who have a player in their sights, who their new coach, Erik ten Hag, is starting a new era at their club. He's been desperately trying to convince Frenkie de Jong to come and join him in his project. It would be his dream first signing, and yet United won't make a decent bid. They've got their new coach there who's desperate for this signing, and the kind of money they put up for him, it is absolutely laughable in my opinion. So that remains to be seen whether Man United will change that stance. Of course, it's still very early in the summer, but right now de Jong's future still definitely remains in the balance. There's also been quite a bit of talk surrounding Ousmane Dembélé and about his time at Barça. Plenty of sources in the Catalan media say that time is coming to an end, and honestly, quite literally it is. His contract expires in just 16 days' time, and it was reported last night that Dembélé has actually rejected Barca's final offer, and he's basically told the club, Dembélé, that unless Barca present an improved offer, unless they actually come back with one more on improved terms, he's going to walk away. He is going to leave Barcelona, and well, the response from the club is this: they're not making another offer. They do not want to make any more attempts to keep Dembélé. They're done with it. Dembélé looks set to leave this club, and at long last, this saga, it is so close now to being done. Finally though, guys, speaking of done, let's talk about Gavi. Because as has been confirmed this morning by Fabrizio Romano, Barca now have scheduled a final meeting with his agent Ivan de la Peña in order to complete that brand new contract at Barca. This is expected to be the meeting in the coming days where it all gets done, where it gets wrapped up and finally announced there. He's going to sign there a deal until 2027. And isn't it incredible that in 2027, after all of those years that he will have been here, he will still only be 22. 22 years old in 2027. I still don't think we can grasp, guys, how exciting our future looks right now. You've got Gavi in 2027, who'll be 22. And even by that time, Pedri will only be 24. This is such an exciting time, and to tie down these players now on long-term deals to keep them at this club, that cannot be understated at all. The form that he's been showing with Spain over the past few weeks, Gavi, the performances he's been putting in, absolutely sensational, and I cannot wait to see that deal done. Signed and on the dotted line to keep this man a firm part of our midfield. What a future! And not just the future either, because this man is already showing his quality in the present day. So that there, guys, is the news right now when it comes to Barca. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, especially there when you're talking about Gerard Piqué. When do you believe is the time to sort of look beyond him at centre-back? Do we need to bring in somebody else to make absolutely sure in our options? And of course, let me know your thoughts as well on the Dembele situation, Gavi, and indeed Frenkie's future. Thank you indeed for watching here today, for getting involved, and for all of your support. I will be seeing you soon, of course, but until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.